I'm saying is to say that is I don't know what their thing is outside of podding. What they come into this thing with. So they're normal guys that wanted to start a podcast and they've struck success and da. So I don't know where the rules in terms of integrity come into it. But what we're starting to realize is there's an element of fence sitting and stuff that people do to stay relatable to everyone. That is problematic when it comes to moments like these with topics that you cannot sit on the fence with. 1 second, bro. Let me land. There's certain topics you can't sit on the fence with. And that's why when people say to me, oh, do you try and be like an everyman, like relatable to everyone? Yo, what's going on, my good people? Welcome to another episode of Expect Foolishness.
All right.
Hey.
Your voice is sounding a bit weak. That was sounding
You ain't got the gears.
I ain't got the
That
gears.
sounded low.
I'm telling you lot now, yeah, it's done. Like, think about what we've been going through. Think about the last 24 hours.
It's been a rough one.
The last 24 hours have been insane.
And it's mad because obviously we're speaking to, this ain't even undefeated.
Yeah.
But there's a lot, it's a somber mood.
It's a somber mood, fam. It's a somber mood. We don't talk about boxing here. There's a podcast that you can listen to, and you probably would have listened to it already because it'd be out maybe when this drops. So we're upset. We went to the AJ fight yesterday.
Now say it properly though. You didn't go to the fight.
It was broadcasted.
You were on the fight.
We was broadcasted.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So let's
with the cameras.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this correctly.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's start again.
Let's do the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. All right. Cool. I get to this mad place in Monument day before Thursday, and it's for the press conference, right? And I'm like, going there was just, it was already mad already. You're in this room and you're like, this feels historic. This feels like, it felt like what's going on. And
is it Basing Hall or something like that?
It's something, it survived the Blitz. It survived all sorts from the war, like the Great Fire and all, like
and
literally.
That's where they held the press conference for the AJ and Dubois fight, right? And that's randomly where they had the first ever licensed boxing match in the UK ever. Like Romans and that. It's nuts.
So they did. So just imagine going there and stuff, and then I find out on that because I'm never heavy in the groups in it. I don't really know what's going on in the group unless you call me and tell me what I want.
Terrible group chat member.
Terrible group chat member. But anyway, so now in the group, they said, boom, we're doing the commentary. We're on comms, but on the zones commentary, like as an alternative. And you have to understand the journey. You have to understand where we're coming from and how long we've been doing this thing. That's crazy because we was on the zone before. They was interested in us in it. Yeah,
but it was like it waned. They didn't really want to take
interest. They weren't sure about the interest, which is crazy.
So for us to come back as alternate option broadcasters is insane. So man are watching on pay-per-view can select a thing on their
bring that back closer to you.
Oh, sorry. They could have selected an option to say, do you want to listen to the standard DAZN commentary or do you want to listen to these, man?
And you know the craziest thing about this situation is, you know why it's really funny, Wale? The funniest thing about this situation is we told them, we was already doing watch-alongs. We said we could do what we're doing now years ago. We said we could do that. We could be like, give us a spot at the fight. We'll do the watch-along. And it'll be brilliant. And just let us speak.
They couldn't see the vision.
They didn't see the vision. Now we're back in the same space, just different. Not in the way I couldn't imagine they imagined it.
That's a pull-up, fam.
Yeah,
that's like them gangster movies at the end. Benny from the Bronx. It's
crazy because at first we was just there on YouTube, but to be back commentating 96,000, my head was gone because I couldn't believe we did over 400,000. We did
600,000 in total, and that's just the socials, isn't it? Twitter stream, the YouTube stream. We don't even know what the.
We don't even know the red button done. We don't even know we did in the zone. And I know we did a madness. So we was the biggest. We were the biggest, and that's dope. Shout out Jordy. Shout out Loz. Shout out Joey Knight.
The whole team.
The whole team behind the scenes. Shout out Pain Game, innit? Because we just went there and did a thing, and it's just the journey. But then we saw a madness.
But you know what's mad, yeah? Even when I was looking at the journey and stuff like that, I thought back to I was telling you about my granddad.
Yeah.
So when I was young, and it's mad that we offer like alternate commentary for a sport that we like to watch. Because when I was young, my granddad used to watch cricket. And I remember my granddad used to watch cricket with Sky Sports on mute. and he'd have his speaker, like radio, listening to, and it was always like Jamaican commentary for the West Indies playing.
Yeah.
And I used to look, I remember asking one time, I was like, why do you do that? He's like, I don't like to listen to them chat foolishness. And I used to just find it as a funny thing.
Yeah.
Now I watch sports and I hear sports bias and how much it pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's why we started Undefeated, is to be like, nah, these man chat nonsense. We're going to chat our thing.
Yeah.
So it's so mad to see that first moment of seeing something like that and taking it to this place.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, hey, granddad, I'm repping still.
Granddad, and this is it, bro. And I'm still like, Trav drove me home yesterday, yeah? And I'm not going to lie, there was 20 minutes of car ride of just silence, bro.
The pain. It felt like one of the man them got beat up.
And just trying to assess what we was getting through, bro. There was silence in the whip, bro. There was silence.
There's two moments that I saw on screen which made me laugh. So there's a moment where you're just gripping.
Please put all those clips on the screen while you're saying.
And then you're gripping Trav. And Trav says, "Get off." But the way he said it, I heard pain in your voice.
Nah. My brother, no. You have to understand, yeah. Trav, yeah, this is why it's more mad for Trav. And usually I prepare myself because I always say, imagine Monday and he's lost. I always do that thing. This is the first time I wasn't nervous, yeah? And so Trav, in my mind, I always imagine, what if it doesn't go this way? Travis doesn't leave any room for doubt. He doesn't leave any room for doubt.
We're going that way. That's the plan.
But the problem with no room for doubt is his face. Someone said that guy must have lost so much money.
Listen, when I tell you, yeah, my mind couldn't commentate anymore, and I was just in silence, like, what am I? What do you mean it's over?
Hey, there's a clip of your face, yeah, when they're doing the cuts to all of our faces. But there's a clip of your one. It's like a smile, but it's not really a smile.
I'm literally like this. You know that?
And I know in your head you're thinking, I'm more angry. I'm more angry than I've ever been, bro. Self-preservation. I looked at the face of self-preservation saying, you know, there's no way I can spin this.
When the computer goes into safe mode. Because you put the computer to safe mode, it's doing too much. We are in safe mode.
What I saw was someone who was, for a moment, you weren't doing anything. I'm not at work.
Yes.
I'm nowhere.
A boxing fan that is deeply upset.
And what brought me back into the moment was this brother squeezing my arm. I'm just like, get off me. Get off me. I hated where I was. Bro, there's 96,000 people over my shoulder and I just want to go home. I just want to be at my house.
And you just got me on top.
And then you took off your blazer.
Hey, you don't realize, yeah? So afterwards now, yeah, we've left. And these men wanted to go out and get food and do little celebration for the moment, right? So I'm like, I've drove, so I'm gonna have to go get my car. So I've walked back through general population of the fans, yeah. When I tell you, bro, I got stopped mad times.
Minimum.
Hey, big up on Supercell, brother. What happened to AJ, bro? Man, want me to stand and give a deep dive right there?
Yeah,
brother, talk to me, bro.
Hey,
I know you rep AJ, my guy. I'm like, fam, I don't even want to be disrespectful. I want to go to my car. I'm mad. And then listen, some Fury boys, brother, this man must have clocked me. Brother tapped me and goes, oh, yeah?
Oh.
What happened to your lad?
See that emotional roller coaster to have. Hey, big up on Superstar.
Brother.
No, so I stayed. So he done the Gen Pop thing, yeah. I stayed with so I was now, because they didn't want to move. They was trying to take this.
It's gridlock
for a car.
It's gridlock getting the cars out, by the way.
Oh yeah, Wembley's a problem.
You can't get out.
Dead.
So then we just said, you know what, going out there, and people were waiting at the gate where everyone comes out. They was waiting for that spot, right? So they know this is where all the people them are coming out. So I'm chilling, brother. And it was a good moment because now boxing media is all coming out, like everyone.
Yes.
Everyone. All the boxers, ex-fighters, everyone. But then you have to understand there's moments where you're there and you're shocked to see these guys and they're like, you're not really on the same level. That was what it was before.
Yeah.
Earlier trip to the zone. Brother, they all know who we are. Now,
it's different, bro.
Now, it's different. I can't, you know when you feel like you're on a new level. I was in there and I actually called Trav because Trav's already stepped out and he's getting to his car in it. And I goes, brother, the way the respect level has changed, bro. It's changed. We're colleagues. That's the thing, that we're colleagues. So anyway, listen,
Yeah.
Let's not waste time with this because we're getting on as if
Yeah,
a lot hasn't happened.
Yeah.
There's no whiteboards, yeah?
Let's get to the
Because
shits.
there's three things that happened since we last podded, yeah? There's Shannon. Yeah, we ain't even... There's Shannon.
We talking about cat.
We talking about cat. Yeah, there's Shannon. There's P. Diddy. But I hear those two big topics. But then we have to deal with what's going on at home.
Oh, so we're getting to the shits.
Get to the shits. Shits and gigs, bro. Maybe no more. Maybe the gigs are not really there at the moment still because...
Not just the shits.
Maybe it's just the shits. I'll be real with you, bro. Like...
That's diabolical.
Who wants to set this off? Because
Michael Dapper was
we
catching smoke as well.
that Michael Dapper one we can get to in the P Diddy bit still. Maybe that might be P Diddy. We'll talk about on Patreon still. Yeah, so make sure people pull up for that one. But let's talk about shits and gigs right now.
Come.
Can I say it? Can I
Go on,
say
say it. Say it.
Let's talk about how. So this is how I find out about these guys. My wife listens. Yeah, she's a casual listener. Yeah, so you hear them a little every now and then, likes their stuff, brilliant. She's part of their target market, I would say. Yeah, and their target market, there's a lot of black women in the target market. Just saying. Now, the first video I see from these guys, where I thought, oh, that's strange, was when they was talking about Supercell.
Yeah.
So he mentioned Supercell, and he goes, he ain't watched it yet because he's waiting to hear.
He's only heard good reviews from black people.
Yeah.
From London. No, I don't even know if he said from London. He goes,
people.
if heard from black people.
We gas things.
Yeah, we gas. I mean, you know how black people gas things out. He goes, until I hear from other people outside the culture, then I'll check it out.
Then I'll check it out.
I didn't say that.
That's a crazy take.
To you.
That's a crazy take.
That was a take, and I said, let me not be. This is the pattern I went through.
I can't judge you on this one clip.
I can't judge you on this clip,
but that was mad.
But it was a, you know,
because I was coming to talk about the thing, but I thought to myself, I'm in Supercell. It's gonna be way too hot to be like, brother.
I felt the connection. I said, my boy's in it. I don't want to just be on the sensitive thing. I think that take is mad. Like on submarines when they're on the radar and like the sound
something popped up in the distance.
Sounds over there, and it's like I've registered. I don't like that.
That was weird. I was like, that's a weird
energy. The energy sonar.
Yeah, the energy sonar. That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
But you could be trying to do a funny, you trying to do a banter.
Yeah.
So we let that rock.
And we in our community,
man get the jokes off.
Stuff like I watch Black Lightning, not the greatest show on Netflix. Yeah. But I watch it for us.
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, that's cool.
That was just a weird mindset.
But it was weird.
Something for me. But
part two. The next time we see him, was what's the next rollout they did? The next rollout was he says, I saw another video, him saying that this is the light skin one. Fuad and I can't remember the other one.
James.
What's that one's name?
James.
Okay, cool. James is saying most of his family members are with like white people, and talking about the lineage, like what's next. If he doesn't, he says he feels the pressure to get with someone black because his family won't be black like anymore. Like it's like as in the what's next, like it's the blackness is going out really, and he feels the pressure. And again, the sonar went pressure to be with a black woman.
I feel pressure to go gym as 4 times a week.
I feel pressure to eat clean.
Yeah, I feel pressure to. You know what I'm saying? Even now, I feel the pressure because I'm like, there's sugar, like real caramel in this. I'm supposed to be on the sugar-free thing to not boost the calories.
I feel pressure. I'm just
going
saying things that I feel pressure about.
Go on, let's do it.
I literally feel pressure to not, what's that thing when you just stay on your phone and you're like procrastinating?
Doom scrolling. Yeah.
I that's pressure.
I feel pressure to not let my road rage take over when I get into stupid situations. I'm driving.
See, that's what I'm saying. But
the natural reaction is to be like the opposite.
There you go. So when you talk about pressure, it's not like to date someone from my race, to be honest. That's a mad pressure. So again, I'm just saying, that's strange.
That's interesting.
That's strange. I just thought that's strange, but each to their own. We'll leave it in it. Like it's interesting. I just thought, I don't know about these man, but when I keep hearing these little moments, these highlights, they're not the greatest highlights.
And this is the thing because like I've seen their clips on tweets that are already viral.
Yeah.
So it's like the tweet is entertaining and I'm just watching someone read out and
Oh,
put a
they're
little
good.
sauce.
Yeah, so I'm
it's
like them. I know they're good. I know they're sick
It's
at their
easy,
job.
yeah, it's easy.
listening.
I've never listened to a pod or really locked in, but I know my sister does. Like, again, we can always point out a woman that close by that knows their
That
pod.
knows their thing.
I subscribe to their pod. I watch it on a regular basis.
Okay.
I watch a lot of pods because I'm
Yeah.
kind of looking at what people are doing. Obviously, I've seen their journey where they've kind of grown and doing a lot of big things, done the O2 and stuff. So accolades to them. But it was, at first I was like, maybe there's like, you know, when you're defending and then you start to see things in context and you're like, that's a bit harder to say something about that, to not kind of say, okay, well, that's nuts.
Brother,
Like,
it gets worse.
When they started showing the previous, I said, oh, that
Yeah,
doesn't-
the arc-
Oh no, now because that's I'm glad you're going there. So now we get to Andrew Schultz. Go on, give us a little breakdown of the. Do you want to give us a?
Yeah, so the Andrew Schultz pod, they're having their banter, and the thing is, even going on the Andrew Schultz pod is like, it's sparring. Like, there's a lot of dynamics at play when you have this sit down, yeah, because them men they're bona fide stand-up comics. Him, Akash, I know Akash from a long time ago. He came over here, good guy. Like, yeah, I mean,
Perform with Schultz. Have you performed on the same stage?
I hosted the podcast festival and Schultz and Charlemagne came over.
Yeah.
But I know these men they're shooters, but stand-up comics and guys who operate in a comedy space, when you come to sit down with the bona fide stand-up
game
comics,
time.
you're going to have a sparring. The men are going to push each other. And it's one of the things where it's just a meeting of minds. We're going to size you up and see what this really
What
is.
your level is.
So the minute I heard they were going on a Schultz pod, I was like, I don't know that they're ready for that. And I remember speaking to my boy at the time thinking, I don't think these guys know what happens when you sit in
comedians.
those spaces.
Just
yeah.
comedians.
Because it's sparring.
5 comedians get together. We
Boom.
just have to
It's,
see
yeah,
what's going on.
we're doing,
to know
it's a thing that's happening.
what's going on.
Yeah, no, I've seen it even from this pod, just with the two of you, and occasionally, it's like brethren's, obviously comedians as well. But every so often, there's a space where we see an extra person. I'm like, oh, the dynamics are different.
Oh yeah,
Shifts.
Like,
No,
yeah.
it will shift.
To keep up with it's different. It's different.
Yeah,
because
we
man
just have to
peacock
know.
quickly. Everyone
Everyone-
does a quick peacock to say, hey, you didn't sub me, you can't sub
Hey,
me. So
hey.
now we have to meet eye
Yeah.
to eye.
That's it.
Do you know what it is as well? Everyone's got 5 minutes of bants in them.
Yeah.
But can you go for an extended period of time?
Can you spar, bro?
When
Can you just
when
stop?
comedians start just doing banter and you're like, oh, okay, I can't swim them.
Yeah, no. When it's time to,
It's a
we know
mode.
the
It's a
Even
mode.
When Trav took me to LA, yeah. Oh, it was everyone was in there. Well, if there's a circle of shooters, when there is where we're, you know what I mean? Where everyone's
Yeah.
got guns out.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go. But the problem is, them man now, they're there as bona fide. Like, they're not there as people coming up. They've sold out the O2.
Yeah,
So
prolific
you're
pod.
here. Like, the reason why you're on this show, you've broken through. You're no longer in the UK. You're in America with us now.
And the thing is,
So we have to take you as real contenders.
and I remember speaking to my boy about it, and he was like, he goes, they didn't engage. They just tried to laugh their way through the thing. Like, as in, I can't hang, so I'm just going to laugh and be out of it. And it's one of the ones you go, that's not the pod to do that on. And this was the convo before I didn't watch the pod.
Yeah.
But I remember saying, that's not the pod to do that on, because I know Schultz is pushing. He's going to
just
do
natural.
that. Yeah, like even when I met him and we was at the podcast festival and that, didn't really do a speaking thing, but it's like, oh yeah, my boy said you're da-da-da-da. So we're there chatting and we're having a little, just the usual, how's it going, da-da-da-da. So all we're doing in that convo is, what level are you as a comic?
Yeah.
That's what this sizing up thing is.
Yeah.
So it's a natural thing for comics to quickly sift out who you are, what you are. It's a size up thing. So when I knew that thing there, you're not going to survive the size up, bro.
You're not going to survive the
So the fact you man are laughing, da-da-da-da, and that's all I'd heard. I didn't know the content. The content only now is on the timeline.
But now this is where it gets interesting. So they asked him the question, and this is the real question. They say to him, to talk about American girls, said, "Rah."
That's the clip I see.
This is the clip that got it going. Yeah, and remember their target market. They said there's no baddies in Atlanta, brother.
Atlanta, you know,
That's like saying
black capital.
That's mini Wakanda. That's the real Wakanda, bro. You've got
saw-
all the levels. You've got rich. You got like middle class. You got the class system of blacks.
Black
yeah,
culture
in
is strong.
and it's beautiful. Like, so you're telling me you went there, yeah,
And you left
and
feeling
you
like
saw
that.
nothing. That means, guess what? Guess what I can really assess in that moment? This is not what you're into, bro. Simple. You know what I mean? And then after, so that's what he says. Because the silence was loud. They didn't answer. They was like, and again, Atlanta took offense. And I understand. Because you're like, we got different styles. It's so massive. It's so massive. So then, you don't look at us like that. And then after, that was the first clip. And I thought,
that's when the momentum started.
That's the momentum. I knew they was in trouble from that, but then they started saying then Schultz made some jokes about black women, right? That they didn't clean up.
They didn't say clean up. Them men were this is the thing. They tried to frame it as they didn't clean it up. Them men were in there laughing, bro.
Brother, they were in head back. You know there's different types of laugh in it.
Listen, when you're
you see back, when I see this,
you're not thinking about that laugh. That's a natural
enjoyment.
Yeah.
Head back, tilted back. Yeah. Listen. I don't even know the degrees on this one, but it's crazy. Yeah. Don't know what angle that is. Yeah.
Diabolics.
That one there is.
I can't remember the last time man tilt my head back laughing, bro.
I don't know.
That's a youthful laugh.
That's an enjoyment.
You went back to being that like 10 primary school.
No, you enjoyed it.
Primary school freedom, bro.
You have to understand. So what happened is, so then I saw that clip and I thought, I wonder how these men managed this, because I could see the Americans were getting, it was going now. Like the heat was on in it and it was rising very quickly. And
his brand of comedy is controversial. Like if you see his stand-up, it's not like he doesn't pretend to be a bit of a, like he stirs things. He's not going to be just
wrong, bro. When Schultz decides like this, and this is the thing, and this is one of those things about perception, because I'm not someone that's going to be like, because I've seen the conversation where they're just like, how come Schultz ain't getting the heat? And I'm thinking to myself, Schultz has set a tone of perception, and I had this issue with how AJ and Fury get looked at. Because Tyson Fury, for example, he's an absolute wrong'un, says the wrong shit, racist, rude, disrespectful, like he's that person. AJ, for the most part, is clean cut. When he says something slightly offbeat, there's AJ, there he is.
Character.
Because he set a tone that's your standard. And you start to realize everybody's standards are different. And
you judge them to the standard that they set for themselves.
Kept. Schultz has set a standard of being open spray for BS.
South Park.
I
call him like South Park comedian.
Yeah.
When I say South Park, it's simply on the line of anyone can get it.
So nobody
South Park will move to anything. Ricky Gervais style.
Yeah, because I think for all lack of confusion, I think what he said was fucked up. And if I was in the room, we don't have to ask what I'm going to be doing or addressing and dealing with the moment. But the people who know Schultz go, this guy's wild.
Yeah. It's like you lot see me when we go to a funeral, I'm going to bust jokes they know I'm busting jokes at the graveside. But if I'm there busting jokes at the graveside, people know I'm doing it.
That's your brand.
But they'd be looking at me saying, Trav ain't taking it serious.
I'm busting jokes. And it's the maddest thing, but people now maybe expect it. They say, Kev, listen, not today. You saw it. This guy didn't know what to do, bro. We're there and I'm on it. I'm talking about dress. I'm talking about when people,
me hugging people.
The spirituals, the songs that we're supposed to know,
yeah.
We're in a new generation that we don't.
We didn't get those songs growing up.
So when it's the big moment of and we're supposed to be singing along and getting it done,
the age divide.
Hear the age divide.
The eyes looking around at each other like,
and the auntie's like, oh yeah, join in.
When them old Caribbean tunes start coming on in church, I feel like such a fraud, boy. And the works of the Heavenly Father.
Oh, you just know the chorus, isn't it?
And there's no lyrics. It's not like they set up back in the church where they set up because sometimes
sometimes they got the pamphlet, for the off key tunes.
Yeah.
But then you got the one tune where everyone just goes, oh yeah, my childhood.
You got us.
I'm just there like, not my childhood.
That one auntie was just like, everyone just, and I'm like, I don't even know this song.
I hate when they freestyle, but they back like it's a tune that we should know. Yeah. You made up just now.
You have to just do a solemn bow.
And then they repeat the verse
12
times.
Yeah.
Brother.
But so, again, back to these guys, you could see that, look, like they've gone on a pod and they've gone to Spa, and Schultz is this guy, He should have been corrected. And the worst thing is, he's been corrected. They showed clips of other people going there and checking him. So they've been checked before. When I saw the video, this is all I had to see. And this is when I was worried for them. I saw a video, and this is the mistake they made. All they had to do, put their hands up and say, Sorry.
Oh, they're talking about the apology video.
The apology video.
That's the thing.
The apology video is what was the gunshot for them.
The apology video put more. I mean, the momentum was already up.
No, but they could have got through.
No, but why they even decided to do that video was because it was too loud to ignore, and the older clips were starting to resurface at a rate that was ridiculous. And every new one that came made this thing look.
No, but Trav, because you could have almost not like a blie.
Well, to be fair, hold on, I'm saying that, but they didn't address any of the old videos.
They didn't address the old videos.
They only addressed that one. Yeah.
The apology was the mistake because they were sitting there like victims. You can't sit. The body language is crazy. We know you lot for it's more you lot are comfortable. When you're doing your show, it looks good. You look neat. You're sitting there on some like you've been called to the head teacher's office. Man sitting there. Look,
I just thought the fight or flight take was
fight or flight. That's the fight. That's the one that killed me.
When stuff happens in the room and it's like your fight or flight, and we just wanted to laugh it off. And I was looking at it thinking,
brother, fight or what?
Flight.
There was no fight. And there was no flight, bro. The only flight was the flight to America to the pod, bro. I'm telling you right now, these lot they were comfortable.
But my thing is, when they, like, the whole rationale, like, you don't want to have the confrontation and it'd be a big thing and it might be beef or whatnot. And I'm like, nah, because confrontation don't have to mean it's beef.
It doesn't.
I'm not rolling with bants or a conversation that I don't want to, you know what I mean? Speak up and say what.
No, because then this is it. So they did that and I thought, you lot have made misstep. I said Schultz. I said there's no way.
You can't make Schultz seem like
all he's done.
Violated you.
But what they did, they said, hey, nothing to do with us. It was him. And I thought, bad idea. And I said, the problem was because they're big enough, pod wars, innit? The pod says
they're worth a response.
It's worth it. These man are huge. These man speak to a massive market. Guess what? If they were nobodies, there'll be no response. But guess what? They're somebodies. We're going to respond. This is going to be a strong segment. So the segment, I knew they were in trouble. Then when Schultz says, we always send the pod to everyone, and they took stuff out. So the stuff that's in is what they're comfortable with. Well, then it tells us everything.
And I think that for me was the start of like where I was like, I'm running out of angles to try and defend you, man. Because,
in your mind, yeah.
Because at first I was like, sometimes a clip can be taken out of context. People say stuff. I know in the moment, I sometimes have an inappropriate sense of humor. I might hear something that I laugh at the idea that I shouldn't be laughing at that. Not necessarily that it's funny. So I can relate to that. I think the problem is where so things like that. Okay, so you had a chance to take stuff out. You took other things out. And so when you first did the pass of that, you and your team probably said, yeah, it's fine.
He's blessed. Now, not just that, not just you, the team. Yeah. That means people who it's their job to look out for your brand and the safety of your brand and how you man are coming across. Everybody is in the same accord in regards to this level of banter and how you man dealt with it.
And it gets worse though, because you lot just probably seeing that, and then you have to understand, like, when I go to certain places, especially on set anyway, I understand some people haven't interacted with as many Nigerians as you might want to believe, So when they think about us sometimes, it is the stereotypes. You know, like let's say a white person that lives up north far away and doesn't interact with no black people. Yeah. They watch Top Boy and think, hey, that's real. Like, that's all of that is how they all are. Yeah. Well, guess what? With Nigerians, the stereotype is just scams, right? They're on the podcast. They talking to my man about his name and stuff, and he goes, "So Nigerians, like, so who were the smart ones?" He goes, I think he's trying to thingy Yorubas, yeah, and he goes, the Hausas and that, they're the lazy ones, right? Not enough pushback for me. Not enough. Yeah? Well, none, basically. Then he goes, the Igbo ones are the scammers, right? And he goes, and then they're getting into white Africa. So they're just, like, when you break down Nigerians, as just scammers, you've done us a disservice. He said it's a busy country, so, bro, you've done us a disservice, bro, because you can't introduce us as, like, you now have a chance to educate and tell people about us, like, how we move. Like,
was this on the Schultz pod?
On the Schultz, the same pod.
Oh, right.
Same pod, bro. I
didn't even see that clip.
Oh, yeah, see this clip. There you go, because some people think I'm just holding this energy for no reason. Remember, they said they can take stuff out, yeah? These lot kept this one in, fam. It's the worst clip I've ever seen fam, because, like, as a Nigerian, disgusted. I watched this thing here and I said, these lot, because you know me, bro. When we talk, especially when we talk about, like, even getting married in the culture, when I tell people about like a Nigerian wedding and the process,
He explains that with
the
pride,
process, the pride.
Even
the
we was at
process.
dinner with Geordie before the fight.
Yes.
And we was talking about when you proposed and the prostrating and,
they're
you and your
prostrating
family
and
come to
everything, and what
yeah.
it means and how we value and lift up the family and this, that, and the other. Like it's a rich culture, it's a beautiful culture. But just imagine you know nothing about us and all you told us is we scam. Is that like, just imagine that we asked about the Jamaican culture and I said, is it just
yardies and weed?
And weed.
and I sit there and I'm on some.
And you allow it. You just say, and then he says anything, and he was giving him the space to respond. Yeah, I can't remember what this shit is.
It's nuts because I was gonna say, are we expecting too much from podcasters?
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? So we're talking about people who I don't know what their skill sets are on a speciality level. Like we sit here as professional comics. Do you understand the overlap to having a conversation on pod? Huh?
I said ish.
Would you? Okay, 2/3. Yeah. Man's in the game as a stand-up comic. So us having a pod in a comedy space, bam. The only thing, what's weird is us having a boxing pod. But hey, I'm a big fan of boxing and we brand it as being fans of boxing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is to say that is I don't know what their thing is outside of podding. What they come into this thing with. So they're normal guys that wanted to start a podcast and they've struck success and da-da-da-da-da. So I don't know where the rules in terms of integrity come into it. But what we're starting to realize is there's an element of fence sitting and stuff that people do to stay relatable to everyone. That is problematic when it comes to moments like these with topics that you cannot sit on the fence with. 1 second, bro, let me land. There's certain topics you can't sit on the fence with. And that's why when people say to me, oh, do you try and be like an everyman, like relatable to everyone? I'm thinking, how can I be relatable when there are some groups of people that literally hate me and would want me dead? We can never be all on the same page.
Yeah.
My integrity as an artist is that I'm here for who's here for me. And if I oppose your way of life and we can oppose.
Yeah.
I'm on that side.
Absolutely.
And I noticed that there's a space in the game where some people think if I just don't have an opinion and I just go along with everybody at every time, I'll get through. And this era that we're stepping into now is problematic
because
for you guys.
The mics are too many people are talking. Here's the clip. This is it. So you're telling me, because people said, are we being harsh on these guys? Listen to this and say if they've gone too far.
Tell me how you pronounce it. Here, I think it would be Fuhad. No. They're Fuhad. Fuhad. And what do you think Americans would pronounce it? Yeah, like even put the Arab in it. For what reason? I have to be respectful, bro. I have to be respectful. It's my Igbo brother right here. I'm Yoruba, actually. I knew he was Yoruba, dude. He's like 50-50. No. It was three. What is it? It's Yoruba, Igbo, and then Hausa. Yeah. What's the one? Who are the smart ones? I would say Yorubas. Yoruba. And then who are like the conniving ones? I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that. And then that's all you need to know. That's right. Yoruba's like, we're educated, we're going to school. The Hausa are the lazy ones. According to you. And then, wait, and then what was it? And there's Igbo. And then Igbo is what? They're the ones that are always, they got the scams. They're the greatest scammers in history. According to you, bro. There's no truth to this at all? What is the stereotype? We're just speaking about like stereotypes. I would say stereotypically Nigerians as a whole are scammers. Can I tell you? I wouldn't.
I've said this before. What my dad told me one time, and this was so like specific, I didn't even think it was racist. He goes, "Let me tell you the two people you don't do business with ever: Nigerians and Ismailis." He didn't say black people and Muslims. He said Nigerians and Ismail, which is like the smallest sect of Islam. He was like, "Never trust them as far as you can throw them."
Do you know what's messed up about what happened there?
This is so specific.
Did you hear how they framed their points of view differently?
Nigerians have that reputation.
So he's kind of
the little scam shit. I just thought they need money, man. They're the sixth populous country in the world, man. There's too many of them. There's way too many of them. And there's not enough funds going around. But does that same rep hit Britain as well or no? Not as much as here. No one there as much as here, but I would say. Why do we have it? I would say it's like attribute because we're Nigerian. It's just it's gonna follow us. We fall for the scams.
So what's messed up there is that they made a statement and then they moved on as if to like solidify, okay, that's how you think. And then the guy gave kind of set him up because he gave a situation, but he contextualized it with his dad said it's this group of people, not all black people, it's this particular sect.
Nigerian
but what he said was like, oh, Yeah, like, it was like all Nigerians are scammers. Then they moved on to a slightly different topic. Then they came back to it, and so then it's like you're saying, okay, building on what you said before. So I think it's a stitch up, but I think he didn't really see what was going on there.
I'm telling you as a Nigerian. Yeah. And remember, he said like, and you carry on with the tropes, did it? He said Yorubas are the smart ones.
Even that was a bit of a set.
What's the stereotypes? So when he said stereotypes is that Nigerians are scammers as a whole, he's calling out the stereotype. Like in this convo, it's one of the ones where it's like, okay, we gotta have what is the rule on comedic license then?
I'm not talking
because it seems like this conversation is that they're having is flirting on the comedic side of we're leaning into the stereotypes and we're doing that. But then there's also the other side where it's like, no, explain. There's space for you to go. But let me explain my culture though. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna get the jokes off. You're gonna say yardy. You're gonna say smoke weed. You have bare kids all over the place, and I'm gonna say yeah, okay, cool. But here's some real. That's the part that didn't clean up after.
That's what I was saying with the two responses where he talked about his dad and he gave context. So it was banter, but then he contextualized it. This is what my dad thinks, and he wasn't talking about all black people. He clarified. Whereas I think when he said all Nigerian people are scammers, unfortunately some of this is in retrospect, isn't it? He left it out there as all Nigerian people are scammers. Then he made a comment, and then he kind of moved it on a little bit, and then he spoke about his dad, and then he came back to it again and said, "Oh, so what about these other people? Oh, so you're smart, you scam," and it's almost like layers of not being clarified.
Man allowed man to say, so the houses are the lazy ones.
Yeah.
And that's crazy already.
Because even according to you, I get why he would say that.
Into and how the country moves, you couldn't describe them as lazy.
Yeah.
That's a madness.
He needed he needed at least to say just, obviously this doesn't apply to all people.
There's
or just like a
culture correctly.
There's teachable moment. All I'm saying is, like, your platform, you're a big platform.
You're not respecting your culture in these spaces.
And it's respect
to please the room.
In the room, just one thing that's gonna piss probably I'll say me and Travis off, You see if now you go into a mainstream space and you start shitting on the culture.
I hate that.
Fuck that comedian forever.
I hate that.
Simple.
I hate that.
Because guess what? I hear it. If it's Wahala and it's like we're at
but like even
if it's Wahala.
So let's talk though, Let's talk about Wahala. Yeah, go on.
Even if it's Wahala, which is still kind of complex, and we've had our conversations about that already, You see in that room, it's us in that room, it's our community in that room, so we're doing a madness. It's commonly how different other set groups will talk about cultural stuff. You see, to take that outside
on
and
TV.
be somewhere else where it's not us dominated, you look crazy, bro. You look mad because, again, my glimpse into the culture is you. You know what I'm saying? You are now, and it's unfair, but you are the representative here because they don't see enough of us. And that's the bullshit you went in that room with, you prick. Simple. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
But
sometimes.
And as well, it's that thing of like accountability, bro. Accountability is the thing because at the end of the day, we're not perfect. We're all gonna make mistakes.
Of course we do.
We're all gonna fuck up. We're all gonna have moments in the room where you didn't say what you're supposed to have said. You didn't represent yourself the way you wanted to. But you're gonna see that in hindsight. If after that, and you look back and you don't see it, then it looks a bit more mad. It looks mad because now it's looking like, oh, you don't actually see what the problem is.
Yeah.
You don't see what the issue that people are having here. You're still looking at, okay, let's just protect the water that's flooding from the building.
Yeah.
And that's where the issue is because like, there's been like, even the fact you brought up Wahala, Africa versus Jamaica. I've done those shows. We've done those shows.
Of course.
I made a decision after the last time to not do that show ever again.
Yeah.
Because I hate it. They use clips of our clash in the trailer. Every time I see it, I can't stand it.
I don't know.
But I'm like, it is what it is. But because I remember finishing that show, I'm thinking, one of my best friends is Nigerian, but we got to get on stage, get these jokes off. Father-in-law.
I don't.
Sierra Leonean man.
Yeah.
We sit down. I love talking and learning about the but in this show, I'm supposed to get into this mode. This years ago, I just decided I don't want to be a part of the show no more. I don't like it. It's not representing me. Yeah. There's no new jokes to create in this space.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on the show. The show still happens, but you'll never see me in there self-deprecating and destroying the culture because it's funny. I'm not on it.
There you go. And I remember I said, because I don't clash. Anyway, I made it after that was my last clash.
Yeah.
I said, bro, look at my friends, bro. Look, I grew up in Brixton. Look at my friends, I have too much Jamaican influence to move as if I don't know. I know your dad's around.
Yeah.
I know how your family move. I know what's going on. I know your situation.
Bro, man can't even speak pidgin Nigerian in front of me because I can understand it.
You know, I can't call him like I can't even get into that. Like,
I'm up to speed on the conversation.
There's been some intersection, like we crossed over. So guess what? I actually like your culture.
Love it.
So there's and everything. So what?
Jerk and jollof is the finest clashes of cultures that we've ever seen.
It's brilliant, but this is here it is. This is the final clip for me when I said, you man, I put you in that group of you're just them man, innit? This is the final clip that said, okay, cool. Because I was still trying to make up my mind, and I was thinking people are trying to take these men down because they're the biggest.
Yeah.
I thought so.
And I never want to be in a group of haters, innit? So we watched this video, the last one that came out, and it was talking about him dating this white girl that wanted to be black. Yeah. And he's breaking it down and says, you want to be black? And he's like, why? Them lot can't fathom why someone... Have you heard this clip?
I'm not sure.
Have you heard this clip?
Yeah, I've heard, yeah.
Have you heard this? Wait, so just for you, just so you understand, so it makes total sense, because this is the clip for me that this is where I was done. This is when I said, all right, you man, like, hold on, let's go.
There's some internal issues that them men have with themselves, and that's the part that's shining. They're shining with all these clips. Apparently, I think they've deleted a bunch of like their early pod episodes, because I imagine.
There you go.
She was on a TV show. I can't remember what TV show it was called actually. And this girl that I was fucking with at the time used to watch that TV show, and she was like, there was this girl that because she wants mixed race kids, like her heart is set on it, so she wants a black man. That's all she goes for, black men. And there's this girl that she used to watch on a TV show who was obviously black. She was like, I wish I was her. I'm thinking, what? Jesus Christ. She kept on saying, I wish I was black, I wish I was black. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. What? For starters, if he was black, you wouldn't be getting any black men, so I'm just saying.
My thing. It's just understanding where they are. Wait, we'll get to it.
It's just like, that's such a bold statement to say. I wish I was black. I wish I was black. Like, yes. What's going on in your life? What? Do you know what I mean? You're white, fam. You're white. You're winning. You've won the game.
Who said that?
You're out here. You're just out here white, just with all the rights to you. And you want to be black. I'm not saying there's obviously nothing wrong with being black. I love being black. But like,
let's clean out.
The fact that what are you seeing that you're not experiencing? Like, what are you seeing? Exactly. What's so greener over here? Like, what is greener that you're thinking, I'm missing out? It blew my mind. It blew my mind.
See,
there was no negative.
See that joke here. What they're trying to do. They're trying to have a funny thing, but because they did. How can I say this,
brother?
I hate you,
brother. No, there's no way to slice it. Look, just imagine with all the clips here, you just start to see you have an internal 100%. Issue of how you see yourself. 100%. Because like, if you asked me, I was playing around and said, if you could have your lifetimes again, and how many times would you come back as a black person? Someone's asked that question, and I say, well, if I had like 10 lifetimes, I'd come back as a black person 9 times. Probably won't experience what it's like to be white once. But I love being black. That's the bottom line is, when you say, what is there over here? Why is it cool being black? What do you enjoy about being black? You're asking me what is enjoyable about my culture, my people, my thing. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's like saying, what's great about being Nigerian? I can give you so many to say, and that's pride in ourselves. So you can't fathom someone will want this
culture.
This culture. You can't understand it. It's a Jesus Christ.
This is the thing. It's one of the ones where you look at, and you do get to see the lens that they look at things, right?
Yes.
Because the lens he's looking at it is, in this white dominated society, why would you want to be black? Because if you were white, this would be so much more fun or so much easier. But when your whole focus is white lens focused perception of your life and society, that's now you look at yourself here.
Yeah.
Because this is the experience that you experience here. So this is the be all and end all. This is here, and this is how black people are, and this is how I see myself.
Yes.
It takes a different type of mindset to look and appreciate your culture within the overarching experiences of racism and the supremacy structures that have been built, and still love your culture right up here.
Absolutely.
You know exactly what we are, regardless of what the shape of things can be in certain dynamics, because in a bigger global scale, this is a beautiful thing to come from. That's how we operate. And that's why looking at that is crazy, because those words would never leave our lips. So when I'm looking at what these men are on, I think to myself, you see, the problem you men are going to have, and the people that are like you, and I don't want to sound like I'm just out here trying to make you man ops and da-da-da-da-da, but this is a moment for you guys to turn a corner as men in the world. Forget your pod. I'm not I'm talking to you, man. Where it's one of the ones that's like, there's growth to be had here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that's it. Like, I want to see you, man, fix your mindset, because right now it's looking warped. And I don't know you, man, on no personal level, so I'm not really trying to make this a personal one. But from what I'm seeing, my evaluation is that's crazy, bro.
No. Hey, listen, brother, just talk up the things. I'll tell you, man. You man look crazy. Simple. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying stuff to you, man. The clips, I went clip one. I said, interesting. The first one, when I said the Sona, Supercell was a bad thing. The next one, I said, but leave it. I don't want to hate you, man, are the biggest. The next one was, that's interesting. And as we start valuing up the clips, then I got to the Nigerian one. From the Nigerian one, I got off the train. I was like, whatever train this was, I'm not interested anymore. When I saw, I was happy for them though. Usually, you know me, I'm going to be happy.
Them win.
I like to see the culture thrive. Every time I see someone in a position, I'm saying, well, I know the journey. Big up to you, because I know it's not easy. But after just all the clips, then you delete 100 episodes. But I said, I don't even want to know.
Rabbit hole's still deep. We can go further, I promise.
Bro, when you delete 100 episodes, and delete the apology, let wrap it up.
Wait, they delete the apology?
They deleted bad things.
Apology.
I think the deletion of stuff is kind of difficult to stand.
Yeah, because that means there's more stuff that we did that didn't get highlighted.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, are we being overly harsh on them, the people that started the podcast? But then I think there is that element of how your profile becomes, the more accountable you are for what you say.
Yeah.
And so I think some of it is maybe where you're saying about defense it comes back into it. Is if you, knowing that with a big audience, you've now become more accountable. If you choose to fence it, you're putting yourself in a situation
Absolutely.
where...
Hold that thought, bro. We need to go to Patreon. We need to go talk about Diddy. We need to finish this. But listen, people, if you enjoyed the pod, you know what to do. Crossover, follow us. If you want to stop here, I hear it. It's a bit weird though. That's like watching a movie and ending it like crazy. So yeah,
let's cross over.
You don't know what to do. It's the price of a
coffee.
It's the price of a coffee. Yeah, for a month. So you lot make sure you do that. Come support us on the Patreon.
Get access to all the other episodes that we have on Patreon as well. And some of the extra content that we're putting out there too. So
dope.